Dr. McQuade, if you please join me. As a Senior Vice President of Science and Technology at United Technologies Corporation, you provide guidance and oversight of research, engineering, and development across UTC and the United Technologies Research Center, the company's innovation engine. You are an integral part of a global leader in aerospace and commercial building marketplace. You earned your doctorate in physics from Carnegie Mellon University in 1993. Your research focused on experimental high-energy physics for research on charm quark production, which was performed at the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory. You began your career at industry at 3M, where you first focused on research and development before transitioning to general management. Before coming to United Technologies in 2006, you held senior positions at 3M, Imation, and Eastman Kodak, including serving as the Vice President of 3M's Medical Division. In addition to your leadership at UTC, you have dedicated yourself to public service by participating in a number of university and government advisory boards. You served on both President Obama's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology and the Secretary of Energy's Advisory Board, where you helped focus and shape scientific research policy for our country. You currently serve on the Defense Innovation Advisory Board, where you bring technological innovation from private sector to the United States military. As a testament to your dedication to and support of education, you're also a member of the Board of Trustees of Carnegie Mellon University and Miss Potter's School. J. Michael McQuade, in recognition of your scientific leadership, your contributions to education, and your service to our nation, it is our honor to bestow upon you today, this 6th day of May 2017, the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. I would like to invite Provost Jeremy Teitelbaum to join me.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the University of Connecticut, and in accordance with the procedures and regulations of the university, it is my special pleasure to confer upon Dr. J. Michael McQuade the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa, with all of the appropriate rights, responsibilities, and distinctions pertaining thereto. And now I invite Dr. McQuade to the podium to make some remarks.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Dean Kazarunian, Provost Teitelbaum, for that kind introduction, and thank you to the UConn community for the honor you have bestowed upon me. My belief is that the decision to recognize me is a statement by the university of the value you place on the position that science and technology and their associated policy implications hold in our society. Fresh on the heels of the March for Science, and the Global Earth Day celebrations, we are all called to remember the key role that facts, critical reasoning, the scientific method, and constructive dialogue have played in the great economic breakthroughs of our recent history. Things like agriculture, semiconductors, computing, information technology, artificial intelligence, biotechnology. We are also, as a group, tasked to recognize both the societal improvements and the human challenges that these changes have created. And we have to remember that change doesn't happen in a vacuum. Change happens within a society that debates, makes choices, and prioritizes, one that must deal with the displacements and consequences caused by scientific and technical revolution. I hope that you join me in understanding that this honorary degree is less about me than it is about recognizing the integrated role that academia, industry, and government play in the meaning, the promise, and the responsibility of science and technology. If the honor you provide me today serves to demonstrate that Connecticut has not forgotten that science, economy, and policy are intertwined, then I gratefully accept. Graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff, congratulations and well done. You have shown brilliance, dedication, adaptability, and perseverance. And lest anybody conclude that you're all Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, you've occasionally demonstrated all those characteristics while being sleep-deprived, overly caffeinated, perhaps overly, shall we say, lubricated, and maybe spending way too much time binge-watching Game of Thrones or Real Something of Somewhere Fabulous. You are truly ready for the real world. As your guest speaker, I'm asked to give you some words of wisdom. So I will quickly say, be true to your heart, have passion, follow your dream, change the world, buy a house, pay your taxes, be a liberal when you're young, and think about as you grow older whether you should be a conservative or not. So with that, let me now move on to the one actual serious message I have for all of you today. And it's very simple. Do good and do it now. It's a standard practice at commencement remarks to reference that you are now leaving the womb and entering the world, so you better get on with it. I respectfully but wholeheartedly disagree. So let's be honest. You have decades in front of you. You're not going to retire in your 50s. You're not going to roll up and stop engaging the world in your 60s. You have lots of time to buy that house and mow your lawn. Be young some more and do good now. Good can be a complicated word, but I sometimes suspect we overthink it. So let me be clear what I mean. Every moment as you walk into the future, a future that includes your family, your friends, your community, your career, you'll have two choices. What will I do, and how will I do it? And my message then becomes very simple. Do the thing that brings the most goodness to the world, and do it well. I've been fortunate enough to be able to follow that adage in my career. I spent my early years working in healthcare, specifically because it allowed me to connect the work I did directly with the people my work served. I found it rewarding to see that what I did for a living was being put to direct use by my family, my friends, and the broader community. And I also found personal satisfaction in volunteer and nonprofit work committed to making healthcare better globally. And as an aside, and here's some additional advice, if you can be as lucky as I was, be fortunate enough to have been joined in those endeavors by my wife Sharon, who is here somewhere today. So thank you very much for being a partner with me on that journey. 10 years ago, I made the decision to come to United Technologies in large part because it's a company that has the depth and scale to take on the world's most important challenges. Challenges in energy, climate, and safety throughout buildings and aerospace. And I also have been fortunate enough to engage in science policy in Washington because I firmly believe that that is a path to a better world, and it's something about which I need to and am called to advocate. So that's my little story of doing good. What will yours be? You're engineers. You've all been exquisitely taught to identify and solve problems. The world is waiting for your innovation and your creativity. Your choice then is to determine where to apply your talent and where to apply your skills. Choose the path that is most outside yourself, the path that changes the most lives for the better, the path that provides opportunity and a new future to someone who does not yet have the opportunity that you've been given and the aspirations that you have. You can do this. You can do it well, but you have to choose to do it. And I guarantee, And that's a bit of a loaded statement coming from a scientist who believes in sort of error bars and uncertainty. Having said that, I guarantee that if you do good and choose to do good, you will not have to look for motivation. You will not have to look for passion, and you will not have to look for satisfaction. You will have found these things in the good that you do. Engineering, frankly, and engineering careers are about optimization. How can I solve this problem? How can I deliver that new solution with a minimum set of resources? I don't disagree with that even a little, because after all, what we do at UTC involves making sure airplanes and elevators are as safe as possible and move as efficiently as possible. And in that work, every pound and every kilowatt counts. So how you do good matters. But if you take a step back and decide that you are doing good, then how you do good is something you can also choose. The way you team with your colleagues, the way you interact with the users of your solutions, the way your solutions demonstrate confidence, integrity, and maybe even style matters. Not the least it matters because of the sense of accomplishment and pride you will carry from your work. We live in a complex, sometimes dangerous world, filled with enormous challenges my generation has bequeathed to you. It will take the collective intellect, passion, and extraordinary work of all of you to address climate change, to deliver energy abundance, to ensure personal safety for everyone, and in your lifetime to take the initial steps now so that in the centuries ahead, humanity can spread off this single lifeboat on which we circle the sun. The tasks are daunting, but your commitment to do good will ensure that we are focusing on that which matters most. I'm not a pessimist. Despite the challenges, we also live in a world filled with hope. Hope that someone in this room will reduce food waste in the neediest parts of the world, that someone in this room will deliver the smart grid technology that will further reduce our dependence on carbon energy sources, that someone here today will pioneer the new social media tools that will truly deliver on the promise of a global community built on diversity, trust, and respect. UConn has chosen to honor me today, and for that, I am most appreciative. I am more grateful that I can stand here and honor you, graduates, for the accomplishments that have brought you to this ceremony and for that which you will do in the future. With the talents with which you came through the gate, the skills and insights you have learned, with sensitivity in your heart and discernment in your vision, with caring and humility in your soul, you will do good, and for that I am grateful. Congratulations, graduates.